for a variety of reasons, and continue to add on.
Over the, looking back over the last half century, the folks, the connections you made in the academy that you've kept in touch with, what percentage of those are the Jewish ones?
Well, first of all, the Jewish connections at the academy was a significant minority of the connections I made to start with. There weren't that many Jewish cadets at all there. So in terms of the carryover, in terms of friends, I'd say there's probably 10 or fewer that I've stayed in touch with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I go out of my way when I go on a business trip and there's somebody I know lives in a town, I'll look them up and we'll go have dinner or something. Stay in touch. Well, what? Because it was a small group. What happened to Ralph? What happened to Steve? Where,
right?
Where's so? And with the internet and social media and all that, that's doable.
Right. Any particular mentors that stood out for you?
And in particular, a mentor who stood out for me who was Jewish. And let me briefly tell you about my career. So after the academy, I did end up going to that second school that had a program in space engineering. That was MIT. So I went back to Boston, got a graduate degree there, became a rocket scientist, and then went over and did rocket science for a foreign allied government, namely West Germany. And if you can think of what it was like for a Jewish to be in West Germany, not that long after the Second World War.
Yeah, sure.
And it was interesting, some stories there. From there, I came back to the States and became a program manager and got into the space program in a serious way. Very interesting, because I know what the potential is there. I haven't reached their potential yet, but there's a lot that can be done. A lot has been done. So after I got into that business, I got into what's called the National Reconnaissance Office, which at the time was an organization, one of those organizations that officially doesn't exist, a covert organization. And what we were doing was, and we talk about it now, flying what they generically call spy satellites. And I had a great job. Can't talk about all of it, Stephen, to this day. But that leads me to the point that the guy who hired me in was a fellow named Harv Cohen. And Harv had been clued to my availability by another guy named Amram Katz, two Jewish guys, obviously. And Amram? Yeah. Amram Katz worked for Rand Corporation. And I think I met him at the academy. Eventually, he found out about me. Anyhow, he put my name in to this covert organization when I got a call from Harv Cohen, come over and let's talk. And that was later revealed as the National Reconnaissance Office. But then I worked for Harv for several years there, did a lot of interesting things, but that's where that was the mentor relationship that I would relate to, because first of all, he got me involved in some extraordinarily interesting work. I got very close with him and his family. And even after I stopped working for him, we stayed in touch until he passed away a few years ago.
So let's go back to, we talked about the mentor and tormentor. Tell me more about what did that mean?
That's the story of Abe Zeron. Again, very, very successful businessman, very successful inventor, a unique personality, if there ever was one. I think, again, I've kind of lost touch. I think he's still living, probably in his late 90s by now, but I haven't heard that he's passed. So he, as I said, that was the label he gave himself. And I think it was for two reasons. One, he liked to think of himself, and he was an iconoclast. You know, he liked to shake the trees and get people to look at different things from different perspectives and make things happen. And he was interested in people. Some people are not. They, you know, people, that's the worst problem I've got. But no, he was always interested in bringing people along and helping them out. And at any particular time, I think he had probably 20 different connections that he was mentoring along and helping in one way or another, staying in touch, trying to help out. And he's he's a great spirit, great spirit.
The tormenting part, is that because he was pushing people to?
Tongue in cheek. Yeah, but yeah, I think it was because asking tough questions, you know.
Bringing out the best in each one of them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Daily, it's like I get surprised, you know, things are not going to be the same anymore. Sometimes more intense than others, but I mean, for example, let me just reflect back on the story that I told you. Obviously, going from small town Texas into the military, big change.
Yeah.
Getting into the aerospace profession, big change. Mostly through the academy education, but also at MIT, really having to learn the rigor that's involved with doing things professionally correctly. You know, it's like there's a lot of baloney and arm waving and BS that goes on in the world, but when you're in the real engineering world, what was the expression? Mother Nature's, you know,
yeah,
tough task mistress, if you will. It's either right or it's not right. You can't cut corners. So that was a big change. Every day you learn something new.